You can smile, you can laugh. Apparently he's settling in well. So yeah, what I suggest is that I start with a PowerPoint presentation, introduce you to what we're all about, and then we can watch a video which will give you a feeling of what European University is all about. If we start with the video and then I do the presentation, it might be a bit boring, the presentation. So let me start with that, and at the end what I suggest is just a Q&A session. It can be quite informal. If you've got any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Okay? So European University, the first thing I'd like to underline is, it's a bit misleading actually. We've got a name that confuses a lot of people. I travel to India, to the Middle East, obviously to Southeast Asia as well to promote our business school. And many people say to me, okay, well, which European universities are you representing? And I go, no, it's a private business school called European University. And in a sense, it's a real positive for us, but in some ways, people get a bit confused. That's why I want to clarify this today, that we're one institution called European University. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll go through the quick facts, talk about our accreditations, our rankings, some of the promotional points, the main campuses, international partners, then I'll look at our programs. I'll go through that briefly and then really focus on the agreement we have with SIU at the end. I'll talk to you as well about the network we have in place, as well as the admission requirements and the tuition fees. So some of the quick facts, founded in 1973. In terms of private business education, we're pretty well established, quite well known across Europe now as well. Basically, the European University did start in Belgium, but moved and now has its headquarters in Switzerland since the mid-80s. We have bachelor programs, MBA programs, and I'll talk about the accreditations and the multi-campus approach as well. So in terms of our accreditations, one needs to understand that we have taken an American philosophy in terms of our education and combined that with the strengths of what you get in Europe. So at an undergrad level, for example, in the States, you have 4 years of undergrad studies. You look at liberal arts classes and then your regular bachelor degree. What we have done is aligned our programs with the Treaty of Bologna, which is a 3-year program. All programs are 3 years in Europe for bachelors. So what you get is the American philosophy, which is really hands-on, small classes, personalized attention for all the students, but in a European setup. So we are grouped with, we were accredited by ACBSP, IACBE, and Seaman. 2 of those are American, which are recognized, if you see in the middle here, by CHEA, which is the Council of Higher Education of America. So it's a state's recognized degree in America. And then we've got something called Seaman, which is the IQA accreditation, European accreditation. So that groups us with hundreds of American business schools. Now in terms of our rankings, the one I'll just underline is the one on the far right. QS is an independent ranker, Quacquarelli Simmons, based in the UK. They ranked our business school, our MBA program, in the 34 out of 200 business schools which were listed. So essentially we're in the top 25% according to that. Obviously, as you guys know, one can look at accreditations, one can look at rankings, but the most important thing at the end of the day is it a good fit? Because all universities are going to promote their programs as ranked really highly. They're all going to say they're accredited. What I suggest you do is really, you really look to see if it's a good fit for you in terms of the program. The strengths of European University, we're accredited internationally, top ranked, I spoke to you about, but then small classes. What you're going to experience is quite similar to what you've got here in this room. Never more than 20 at MBA level. Undergrad, the same thing. The idea is really to bring an experiential approach, if you see the last point there, to the students. So our advantage, as you'll see in a minute, is that we've got multiple campuses. So we can harness the network of businesses, all the contacts we have in each of those cities, to really get the students to experience something unique and then bring that to the classroom. For example, if you go to the Munich campus, you will inevitably visit companies like BMW, other automotive industry, The idea is for students to take what they see during those industrial visits and then apply that through the case studies. The idea is also to bring captains of industry. So we've got a distinguished guest lecturer series and some impressive names that come and speak to our students. Regular evaluation, so one final exam is not the way forward. We were speaking about that earlier. The idea is really to have a holistic view in terms of our students, to see how they participate in class, in terms of their group work, in terms of their presentations, in terms of their exams. All these things are compiled together. I think that's much of what you experience here at Chinoa as well. Practical experience for our faculty. Our faculty comes from all around the world. We've got guys coming from America, from Asia, from Africa, from the Middle East. I recently spoke to a gentleman who's teaching in our international relations faculty, and he explained to me how he has worked for UNICEF in Asia, in Africa, in other parts of the world. So to study international business, there's nothing better than to do that in an international setup. I'm sure we've got a German gentleman here who's studying here. I mean, to study business in Asia, what a privilege, what an experience. In the same way for Asian students to come and to study business with the Russians, with guys from the Middle East, with students from the States, you really, instead of theorizing, theoretically looking at problems and saying, how do we get over those cultural barriers, you're really doing it in your group work. So, yeah, you live out the international business experience during your studies. Networking opportunities, as I said, the European University is a family business. So that's something the owners hold really close to heart. We'd like to give students as much opportunity as possible to rub shoulders with captains of industry, to connect with alumni. And we found out that a lot of our students end up working together at a later stage. So that is one of the biggest advantages. When you finish your degree, you realize, okay, I was in class with this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. I'm still in touch with them, and we can perhaps work together at a later stage. So that is an asset which one should definitely take into account. Transfer opportunities. So the 4 campuses are Barcelona, Munich, Geneva, and Montreux. So obviously Barcelona is in Spain. It's the biggest port on the Mediterranean. With that, it's drawn a lot of industry. It's drawn a lot of, it's a big European capital. The idea is to have downtown campuses at all of our, in all of these cities. So the students, aren't going to get the big, you're not going to have a big campus feel like you will have here, or in the States. It's really renovated office space downtown. In Spain, for example, it's in a nice residential area. You've got housing which is nearby, which I'll go into at a later stage. But the idea is really to experience, when you travel into Europe, you want to experience the city, you want to experience the culture, you want to get the most out of your time there. And that's what you're going to get, that's what we offer you. Munich. What I like about Munich is that it's got a cultural feel, but it remains a big European center as well. So you've got a lot of business, you've got a lot of industry in and around Munich. But when you go, you've almost got it's almost like a village feel when you're walking downtown, which that's one aspect I really love. If you compare it to Paris, you compare it to London, even Berlin, I would say, Munich is quite different. So it's got a lot of charm. It's a great place to study as well. Students that study at our Munich campus will go to places like BMW, I told you, and the German economy is the one that's pulling Europe through at this stage. So it's become a popular campus for many of our international students. Geneva is famous for that fountain, as you can see. It's famous for its financial sector, its banking sector, the international relations. There's so many organizations linked to the UN. And so if you're interested in international relations or you're interested in finance, I would suggest the Geneva campus. They are more expensive, substantially more, but we can look at, with the agreement we have with SIU, we can look at discussing the tuition fee for the Geneva and Montreux campus. That's still something we're looking into. Montreux, as you can see, if you're wanting to go to a terribly ugly place, a horrible place to live, then I suggest you go live in Montreux. That was just to wake some of you up. It's a very beautiful place, great vineyards, beautiful lake, mountains, skiing, snowboarding. It's a tough life. That's our smallest campus. Just to give you an idea, you're looking at about 350 students per campus. Geneva is a bit smaller. You're looking at 250, and Montreux is really small at 80. We've got international partners all around the world. This means we've got, it's mainly members of understanding with a lot of universities. We're looking at doing dual programs like we've got with Shinawatra, and we've also got dual programs in the States, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. So I'm not going to go through this, I'll just fly over very quickly. We do have a foundations program for undergraduate students. It's a 1 year, basically a catch-up program. It's a springboard to the bachelor program. The bachelor program is 3 years and 6 semesters. Are any of you guys here doing your bachelor program? Okay, so I think it would be interesting for me to underline this then. Yeah, for those that are doing it, you have a look at the majors we have on offer. The first year, all the students do the pure business administration major, and then you've got a choice in your second year where half of your courses are elective. So you could do communication and public relations or leisure and tourism, international relations, there's sports management, finance, digital media management, sustainability management, design, family business, and there's an executive bachelor. So there's a wide range. What we found is quite nice with these new programs like digital media management, sustainability, design. These are quite unique, you don't see them everywhere. I find a lot of the students are interested now in sports management. You know, the marketing that goes behind the sporting events, the player management, sponsorships, all these things are becoming more and more popular in today's day and age. If you're passionate about that, why not study it? So the two dual degrees we have at an undergraduate level are Nichols College in the States. So we call it a 5 + 2 = 2. 5 semesters at European University, 2 in America, and you earn with 2 degrees. Shinawatra is a bit different. Our program, our agreement with you guys at this stage is 6 semesters in Europe, and then, sorry, 6 semesters in Shinawatra, 2 in Europe, and you earn a dual degree. So I don't know if Ignatius will join us today, if he'll have the opportunity, but it would have been nice for him to share his experience at EU, and I'm sure he'll have an opportunity. Just chatting to him, he'll be able to tell you a little bit about his time there so far. Okay, is that clear? We also have a dual degree with University of California, Riverside. So it's basically a diploma which you can earn from UCR in 4 years. It's a postgraduate diploma as well as a degree from EU. Our MBA program is a 1-year program, 3 terms. The first 2 terms are core courses, the final term you specialize. It's quite an intensive program. The class time isn't that intensive, you're looking at 15 hours per week, but you're given obviously a lot of assignments, a lot of group work. Yeah, the MBA, we have various majors on offer, which I can list quickly for you. With business, international business, communication and public relations, international marketing, global banking and finance, leisure and tourism management, entrepreneurship, leadership, e-business, sports management, human resource management, design management, and reputation management. So those are 12 different majors on offer. There's a lot of scope within those 12 majors as well. We've got students that are passionate about the family business from which they come, you know, and they're wanting to write a problematic or write a dissertation, their thesis on something related to their family business, and there's a lot of scope within the programs we give. College of Charleston in the States, it's a famous university as well, famous business school with one of the major accreditations, and we've got a dual degree with them as well. I told you about visiting interesting companies. We also visit UEFA for guys that are interested in football. One of the benefits, I guess, of being placed in each of these cities is that you really, we can harness the strengths of each of these cities, which companies are located there, get captains of industry to come and speak to our students as well. So the network, over 20, it's actually 25,000 now, successful business people worldwide. I don't know if all of them are successful, we say 20,000 successful ones. The reality is, nowadays with social media like LinkedIn and Facebook, when I travel to promote the university, I can go on one of these social media platforms, and I can seek out the students that have finished through EU, you know, and then we meet up with them, and a lot of them I've realized a lot of them are still in touch with their former students. So one of the big benefits you're going to get is you get plugged into a network. Corporate partners, we've had students go on to find internships or full-time employment at these companies. Obviously, these are these are multinationals that are very, very famous. I'm sure you recognize all the brands that are there. Last year alone, we had 2 students land internships at BMW, and a third that went on to a full-time marketing position at BMW. Some of the distinguished guests: the former Prime Minister of Belgium, he often speaks at our commencement ceremonies. Hublot Watches, which is famous in Switzerland, Nestle China, so a private bank, and also the Hindu group in India as well. So these are some of the distinguished guests. In terms of the success stories, I'm sure you guys know Post-its. I'm sure you use Post-its as well. That's for me the most infamous invention of the company 3M. And 3M now is managed by one of our graduates based in Paris. The Swatch Group, Nyla Hayek, she's very famous. One of the owners, one of the chairpeople of the Swatch Group. She did her postgraduate degree with us as well. The Marriott Hotel Group. This gentleman here, I'm sure you don't know him, but he is an area vice president in Western Europe. So yeah, with the admission requirements, I won't go through in detail, because these things, you guys are enrolled here. We would look at your grades, we would chat to your professors, and that's not the most important thing. One thing you can bear in mind is that you would need a TOEFL or IELTS for the visa. I don't know who hasn't taken TOEFL or IELTS yet. Who has maybe? Who has taken? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, that's good. Well done. You've got 1 or 2. That's good. If you're wanting to study in Europe, I would suggest you do it. Even if you don't go on to study in Europe, it's a good thing to have. It's a benchmark. It's one of the most important exams you can take if you're wanting to study abroad. So for visa purposes, even if your professors here can attest to your level, often the visa officer would look at pure facts. They'll see have you passed this test or not. So the tuition fees, these are not applicable for you, but to give you an idea, your tuition fees would be lower if you do come. Now the bachelor program, if you look on the left of the screen, you're looking at 11,500 euros. Montreux Geneva, 26,800. That's bachelor. MBA is 18,900 and 36,600 Swiss francs. Okay, and there's an online program as well. What I want to get to is our collaboration agreement, the dual degree options. So at an undergraduate level, I saw there was just a handful of you that are still at an undergraduate level here. Is that right? Yeah. So for you, you're looking at the first, third, and fifth semester where you could come to EU. Your first option is either a semester abroad or a joint degree, a dual degree. So let's talk about the semester abroad. Simply, you would need to show a desire and interest to come to one of our campuses. Then we can discuss it. I would discuss it with some of your faculty. We'd look at your grades. TOEFL or IELTS obviously would be necessary. But you're looking at quite an interesting offer. I'll highlight it there. You're looking at 2,900 euros as a tuition fee instead of 5,600. So the rate there in baht is 116,000 baht. Okay. That's for 1 semester in Europe. That's a 13-week long period, so it's about 3 months. Yeah.
May I know what time does it start? Every semester?
Yeah, so we've got 4 semesters at an undergraduate level where you could start.
Yeah.
Now, what we have listed here, we had gone through the programs, we had looked at what would work. The first, third, and fifth semester for SIU students would work. Now, as I said, the most important thing is to see when you would want to go. and we could work around that, because I think we need to be flexible in this thing to make things happen. So yeah, we'd first be interested in who's interested, and then we could work from there. The joint degree is this 4 + 2 = 2. You do the 4 semesters here in Thailand, and then 2 in Europe, and you earn the dual degree. Now, the dual degree, as far as I know, we don't have the price there, but as far as I know, you're looking at a semester fee in the vicinity of 5,000 per term, per semester. Okay, because the one thing we can do is offer a very preferential rate for a semester abroad, but for a dual degree, you are earning a degree at the end of the day. So I will have to discuss the exact ins and outs with my management, but you're looking at about 5,000 euros per term, per semester. Now the MBA scholarship, Barcelona and Munich are normally 18,900. I said 600, but it's normally 18,900, which is 744,000 baht. Okay, the approximate scholarship is 5,600 euros, which is 224,000 baht. Your final rate, what you would pay EU, is 520,000 baht. That's for an MBA. That's a full MBA. What we're looking at doing, and what we haven't had any students for the time being, is a student come on for their final term. We don't have it listed here. I could give you the details if you're interested. It would be substantially less than what you see on the screen here. So you would do your full MBA here in Thailand, and you would come for one 10-week period to Europe. And you'd be paying in the vicinity of 5,000 euros for that. Once again, the details will be ironed out. This was our first presentation we gave the last time we came. So we'd be interested in which students are you know, if I've whet any of your appetites this morning, this afternoon, should I say, I'm tired, I've just come from Europe, then we would definitely be able to discuss with you the rates and work out the terms and conditions. So I'm afraid all these figures are approximative for the MBA scholarship for the full program, but most of you would be doing the dual program, so that you'd just be adding one term on. Is that clear? Yeah?
Yeah.
What I can do as well, I was told that what would be interesting for you is to look at the living expenses, the estimated living expenses for the year. So this is for our Munich campus. So we've got quite a lot of details here about everything you need to know. Then the cost of living, you're looking at an academic year of about 1,000 euros per month, so about 12,000 euros. Now, for the dual MBA, once again, you won't be coming for a full year. So you would need to divide that figure by 4, whatever period you're coming to Europe for. So, you know, if you're coming for 10 weeks, you're looking at maybe 3,000 to 4,000 euros for living expenses. That's tuition. No, that's for tuition. That's insurance, transport, rent, everything you need to live, plus your tuition fee. Okay. So these details we can iron out, and I can have them sent through to all of you. So because I know that it's not that clear. I've given you lots of different figures. We'll send you some really clear figures in terms of what the cost would be, living expenses plus tuition fee. In terms of the accommodation, we have, let me just see if I can show you here. Yeah, this is what you can expect. Yeah, you got the floor plans, it's normal student housing. What is nice is that you've got about 24 square meters, it goes up to 27. It depends on some students want to share, some students don't want to share, but there's a lot of availability. Okay, so you're looking at the cheapest sort of 440 euros per month for rent. Okay, you see this, the housing is nice. Okay. What I'll do now is just show you a short video, and then keep your Yeah, I mean, let me just talk about the job placements, and then I'll show you a short video. Basically, the job placements are, it's something that we want all our students to have. If someone can get an internship, it's a huge thing for their career. If they don't land an internship, it does hold them back. So at each campus, we've got someone who will sit down with you. He will adapt your CV to the local market. We'll be sending you job offers during the week, especially students coming from here. We're going to be making an effort. If you say one of the criteria is for us to find an internship while we're studying in Europe, well, then we would definitely throw our weight behind finding something for you. Okay, so that shouldn't be your biggest concern. We can do our best to find you an internship. So that's a long, exhaustive list of where students have found internships. Okay, I'll show you a video and then hang on to your questions. I think this might have some more details here on our program. Just in a second. There we go. So I'll read through this quickly because this will summarize pretty much what we've printed out in our marketing material. Located in Bangkok, Thailand, Shinawatra University was founded in 1996. Where does it talk about the programs? The dual degree with Shinawatra University gives students the chance to complete the 7th and 8th semester of the bachelor program at SIU in Thailand. In addition to extending this opportunity to EU students, those who attend Shinawatra are also eligible to complete their bachelor degree at the EU campus of their choosing, providing they have successfully completed their first 4 semesters at SIU. Joint degrees are part of EU's ongoing mission to expose its students to a vast global experience, including those in and around booming economies of Southeast Asia. So we're proud to obviously have one student here in Thailand, and we're really looking forward to welcoming a few students. We do have Ploy, a student who's keen to come, as well as her friend, I think, I'm not sure if she's here, Tor. Okay, cool. So we can chat afterwards as well. But yeah, before I let you ask questions, let me get to this video, and then we can. This is mainly to just give you a feel for the union.
As one of the world's top business schools, European University is internationally accredited and recognized for the excellence of its students and faculty. Established in 1973, EU has developed a business education that delivers high-quality teaching, a competitive learning environment, and a network of campuses in different countries.
We welcome the European University in the company of such prominent schools like Yale University, INSEAD, London Business School, and Tsinghua in Beijing.
European University offers tomorrow's leaders effective solutions in a professional environment through traditional as well as innovative business programs. EU points the way to your success.
We try to make the entrepreneurs of tomorrow based on family business management, with core values like respect, trust, integrity, and ecopreneurship are very important for us. And we try to share them with our students and our faculty. We try to make leaders of the next business generation, the ecopreneurs.
EU students are a vibrant and motivated international community who come from all over the world. International exchange leads to greater understanding and appreciation of other cultures and prepares our graduates for more effective interaction in the global marketplace.
We have a wide variety of cultural backgrounds, professional backgrounds, which makes European University unique in the landscape of business education.
The best part about EU, I think, would be the faculty, because they're all industry professionals or have worked in the industry recently, and they bring a certain level of technical and practical knowledge with them to the classroom, which goes really well with the theories that they teach every day.
In a typical university, you discuss business issues, They do trends, competitive strategies, and best practices with an experienced professor. In EU, you don't only get to do that with an adequately experienced professor. You get to do that with colleagues coming from different places all over the world.
We are here to facilitate, to make sure that students grasp and then use that information and apply it, hopefully, in their own business later on.
EU's high-caliber faculty is made up of full-time academics holding doctorates in their specialities, as well as part-time instructors drawn from the international professional community.
After the few years that I graduated from European University, I'm still in contact with many of my fellow students and the faculty members, because we did become a part of each other's lives. Take the first step, and we will meet you halfway.
Join us at European University.
Willkommen in der European University.
Come by European University.
Tervetuloa European University.
European University. خوش آمدید.
So, any questions at this stage?
I have one.
Yep.
Where are we gonna stay if we go there?
Sorry?
Where are we gonna stay if we
Yeah.
go there? With the dorm?
Yeah, student dorms. So
how-
the dorms are, there's definitely sufficient place.
yeah.
The earlier you apply, if you can really, like I said, we've got at an undergrad level, we've got 4 starting dates. So it could be in the summer. So obviously February is past now, but it would be June, August, October. Those are the three opportunities you would have this year. For MBA, it would be March or October, January. Those are the 3 opportunities for starting dates. Now, if you're wanting to start in October this year, for example, the earlier you let us know, the earlier we can arrange your housing for you. You know, we have an allotted amount of housing available to us each year. So the earlier you get in, obviously the better chances you have to get what you want.
And can we be able to walk?
Yeah, the reality is you're looking at 5 to 10 minutes public transport. So it's city center, yeah. So you'll be taking trams or trains to, you know, especially Munich and Barcelona, you're looking at really good public transport. It's not an issue. For downtown campuses, you could get closer, but then you would need to look for a private apartment. Yeah, so that's if you do a full MBA at EU, a full MBA. However, if you wanted a dual MBA, you would be looking at a figure of about 5,000 euros. That's for, what's this, 1 term effective. But what you would do is you do your full MBA here, you also and then you come with additional specialization. So you pick one of the 12 majors on offer. You would have to write a dissertation and thesis as well. So you've worked hard for your MBA, but effectively you get it in a much shorter period. We would need to discuss it obviously with the faculty here. If you've written a thesis here, as well as one in Europe, it might not be necessary. You may need, I will need to discuss these things to find out. You may be able to present the same thesis you did here in Europe if it's in line with our requirements. But yeah, it's quite a lot cheaper than it's not just
It's a ball.
Geneva. Sorry? Yeah, so 4 options available to you. I'm highlighting the ones that I think are, I know the challenge often is the affordability. So I've highlighted Barcelona and Munich as good options just because living expenses are about 50–60% less than Geneva. Geneva is just very, very expensive. So if you're wanting to go into international relations or into finance, then it's a good option, but you need to have finances to do it.
What about visa procedures
Yeah.
for the international students?
Yeah, for international students, we would walk you through those processes. Obviously for Germany, for example, you need to open a locked account with Deutsche Bank. Those are certain things you may not know, which we can help you with. What should I tell you with the visa purposes? I think, what's your nationality? From Nepal. Yeah, you would probably need TOEFL or IELTS as well for the visa. So that's something to look at doing if you can. Otherwise, it's about a 3-month process. So if you're wanting to start in October, you should show interest quite soon, and you should start jumping through the various hoops you need to in June. Yeah. So you could get in by June. Yeah.
Most likely, you need to slot in your application for June. So slot in your application by April. Yeah, because some between June and July will be on summer break, summer vacation.
Even earlier if possible.
Or even
yeah, because like I said, it'll take 2-3 months. So if you're wanting to come in June, you'd need April, May, June, so you'd need even March. If you could look at the next by mid-March. Now the process would be to go online and to complete our online application. And then just mention, there's a comments part, you just mention that you're an SIU student, that you were here for the presentation, then I would get in touch with you. They would forward me your application form. Yeah. So that's the same for everyone. You go onto our website, you fill out the online application form. There will be no fee for the application. That's different, obviously, because we've got an agreement with you. Normally there's a €200 fee for applicants, but there's no fee. So that's up to you. You can go ahead and just mention that you may be here.
Okay, Nick, would TOEIC be acceptable?
Yeah.
Instead of TOEFL?
Right.
Most of our students have taken TOEIC.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
We will have a minimum score. I'm not asking you
Yeah.
see how they look here. TOEIC, we don't have it up here. So there will be
one over 700. That should be strong enough.
Okay. That's fine. Who's taking TOEIC here? Yeah, you take it.
One question about MBA. Because now I'm studying at the halfway holiday and I have been studying some of the principles and some of the specialists. Is that possible if I would like to spend the rest of the courses to EU as a dual or even exchange?
Yeah, so what we would suggest you do is you complete your MBA here, and then you come and join us for our 3rd term, which is effectively your specialization term. Now, if you choose to specialize in the same subjects you specialized here, then that's almost pointless. Obviously, you will have a different perspective. There are different professors, it's different case studies, etc. So if you did human resource management here, for example, and you want to do human resource management in Europe, it's not a complete waste of time. Even though the courses, the modules may be quite similar, what we would suggest, however, is that you choose a 2nd major, and then you would really benefit. What are you majoring in here for your MBA?
Maybe it's between both in finance and international relations.
Okay.
But yeah. How long today?
How long is your full MBA here?
2.
2 years, yes. So you would come to Europe for an additional 10-week period. So it's about a 2.5 month period. Just for courses, then you can stay on a bit to defend your thesis.
Just for that?
Yeah. That's it.
2nd degree?
That's the 2nd degree. The reason being is because we've compared programs. So the standard core subjects, there's no point redoing them in Europe. This is not a scam by any means. This kind of thing does exist. You know, where we, similar MBAs have the same accreditations. For example, Nichols College in the States, they have the ACBSP. When you have an ACBSP accreditation, you're having to meet requirements in terms of the programs, So, you know, our programs are almost mirrored. So you can just add the elective major on top and you'll. That's how it would work.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, sure.
You said we can transfer there for our 5th semester, right?
Yeah.
And after that, can we choose to stay there?
Yeah, you've got a choice. We would, like I said, there's a lot of flexibility. So we would chat to our management, chat to the management here, see what you guys are interested in doing, look at everything you've completed.
How about the fees gonna be the same as the 5th semester, or it's gonna be higher? Or
If you earn if you come for 2 semesters at an undergraduate level, your semester fee will be 5,600 euros per semester, but you will earn a dual degree. If you come for 1 semester, it's 2,900. It's a lot cheaper, but you don't earn a dual degree. You just get a semester which you can add to your CV. So that's the way it could work.
Do you have any worldwide intercampus, just like
students? Yeah, students.
Yeah, because some of us might not want to go outside.
Yeah, realistically, it's tough to promise these things. We do have students, especially in Munich, we've got a lot of students on staff, but as you know, there will be limited spots. So I'm very hesitant, I wouldn't promise that. Yeah, you've got 20 hours per week you're allowed to